Julie Brzezinski Lewis. I'm one of the Mindful Steps team members. I teach mindfulness as well as being a neuroscientist. So I like to show some of the science of why things can be beneficial and what might help and why, because I think that really helps sometimes. And
Mhm.
normally we do this course, and we'll introduce you. Normally we do this course in November or December. And we're kind of talking about holiday prep, but really January is a month where there's a lot of psychological distress. The study happened to be on bereaved spouses, and you can see January is a challenging time. You've taken down your festive decorations. You don't have the family gatherings and excitement of the holidays, and it can leave people feeling kind of down. Um, so I'm going to talk a little bit about that pain and stress that happens kind of post-holiday. Pain is pain in the brain. So if you're feeling emotional pain, social pain, grief, anger, all those things, there's a reason why it's called pain, even when it's emotional. Um, Research that we've presented before on pain and mindfulness shows that it's very effective. So placebos in general are very good, but mindfulness works better than a placebo for pain and really a short period. So just learning the practices can help reduce. In this study, they have a pain they can't avoid. It's a very hot device placed on their hand. It's not going to damage, but sure the heck hurts. It decreased the ratings for intensity and unpleasantness, as well as change the brain's relationship to pain. So, it's not going to take away a pain that's there, but it takes away that extra sauce of, oh my gosh, this is so terrible. I hate this. It can help with those types of things. In terms of the mindfulness suite of practices, what we want to do is take you out of the panic zone. So when we have a lot of stress or difficult emotions, it can put us in a zone where we're highly stressed. And in that zone, it's very difficult to grow or cope. It's not to say that all stress is bad or all negative emotions, are, if you have a pain in your knee, it might be telling you that there's a tear, right? And that's the same for our emotions. They're letting us know. We'll probably talk more about that kind of thing. But, in terms of feeling tone, ranging from pleasant to unpleasant, we want to take it up a notch, help you feel a little bit better. Practice this like yoga, getting massage, and the loving kindness meditation. And the other thing, we'll have a little chat a little later in the talk about what can work. But they can help create workable conditions. Adverse feelings, again, can be utilized, but not when one is in the panic zone. It's really hard. This is also January, which, we just had Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and he said, that the creatively maladjusted element has wisdom in it. Just trying to smile and pretend everything's okay when it's not that useful. But at the same time, if we let ourselves go into the realm of hate and anger, it starts to destroy the personality of the hater. And then the last part here, it destroys the very center of your creative response to life and the universe. So love everybody. And this sense of cultivating love is very important, and cultivating creativity, which can only come from the growth zone, not the panic zone. Research really squares up well with this. So this painful, the look of sympathy in participants, witnessing suffering predicts altruistic helping behavior, but the painful wince predicts turning away. It's gotten to the panic zone once you get to that wince. And other research that, funded research has shown that anger, and then I put up here other adverse emotions and extended stress because it's true of them. Just happens to be a really helpful figure because when we produce stress hormone, coming from like leaving our amygdala on, being in a sense of distress and anger and fear and judgment and rejection, those types of emotion, the sources of anger over here, suppress activity in the prefrontal cortex, the very structure that you need for judgment, for creativity, for good decisions, planning for the future. If with that turned off, your view is going to be very narrow, as if all you can see is right in front of you, that emotion that's right in front of you, which isn't the whole story. It also turns off it also impairs the hippocampus and memory, and too much cortisol decreases serotonin. And, if the treatments for depression, the medical treatments are to increase the available serotonin. So that can put people at risk for depression into a depressed state. And I'm going to use depression as an example. It's certainly not the only one. This was a really fascinating and useful study that I have drawn the wisdom from. It takes people who had been in moderate depression. Moderate depression is a serious condition. It's somewhere, you should see a therapist. You should, think about medication in moderate depression. All these people with therapy got to a point where they were in remission. They were no longer clinically depressed at the beginning of the study. And they showed them these extremely sad movies. This little boy here pictured was Mr. Tough Guy when he found out his mom had cancer. And you can imagine what this scene is. These are devastatingly sad scenes. The only difference, I get a little flustered even talking about it. The only difference between the two conditions was that they were randomly assigned to either learn mindfulness or just kind of well-being tips. And the ones that learned mindfulness, here's what they did. When they experienced some kind of suffering, anger, frustration, they were told, hey, check in with your body. Go back to your body. Where's that emotion in your body? I feel devastatingly sad, body. I feel really angry, body. I feel so confused, body. I kept going back to the body. And the ones they measured while watching these movies, how the brain was fluctuating between sadness network and body network, the somatosensory network. And again, at the beginning, there's no difference between the group except, whether or not they learned the mindfulness. The ones that got back in their body, they remained in remission for 2 years. This survival is a statistical term. It just means that they didn't fall back into depression. The ones that didn't, that, stayed stuck in their sadness network, by 180 days, 70% had relapsed. By 2 years, 45%, not 70%, 30% had relapsed, and then like 45% by the end of 2 years. That's a huge difference. This is a very protective quality. So if you feel any, grief or strong emotion getting back into the body, a similar study, looked at, just static pictures, and they gave people loving kindness meditation. So here you're get into your body, make a wish. May this child be well. So we can try this right now, like feeling your feet on the ground. May they be well. Feeling your feet on the ground, yourself in your body. Not only did it activated the nucleus accumbens, which is a reward region, and prefrontal cortex that can help turn off the amygdala, help turn off that stress response. And this, we tell this to nurses who are in training. Hey, someone's calling for you. You have a more urgent patient. Feel your feet on the ground. May they be well. Feet on the ground. Tend to the more urgent need, and then your brain, your memory won't be impaired. You'll remember that patient and can go back to them. So, this is a really important skill. And so instead of attacking negative emotions head on, you can just cultivate love. And we'll do that a little later in the session, as well as breath, body work, and mindfulness practices that are going to help us feel better. It's going to make us feel like we're embodied, and that helps us gain control of our emotions, reduce reactivity. Loving kindness meditation can help generate positive mental states in which all sorts of, not just love can grow, but creativity and, joy. Um, and we're trying to get into a nice middle ground where, yes, we may feel like sympathy in it, but we can stay out of that panic zone of distress and also out of the numbness, like let's just put up a barrier, not feel emotion at all, which is another strategy the brain tries to do. And so when I'm going to teach loving kindness meditation later, it's going to be mindfulness, the loving kindness meditation, and then back rooted in our mind, in our body, in our stability. And at stability, as we gain confidence, it's like an astronaut knowing that they're confident in their training and in the stability of their tether. So, extending to help a friend who's in need and who's crying is dangerous, right? It's a little bit like could get us sad, but we're stable. We can come back. So let's talk. Laurel's going to talk about.
Yes, I'm going to talk about self-care and a lot of what Julie has just touched on. Yeah. Thank you, Julie. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurel.
Yes. So I'm Laurel Falconberry, and I'm an outpatient therapist at Chestnut Ridge. And I see clients with all sorts of mental health issues, problems, anxiety, depression, trauma, a variety of issues. So I bring that viewpoint to our group. And so when Julie was talking about, riding the waves, coming back to the body again and again and again, it grounds us. It gives us a connection. It's like coming home. It's like we're out there, all these feelings, all these thoughts. And if we can just come back and with our breath, and we're going to practice that, coming back with your breath into the body, it's like I'm safe. I'm here. Building that safety, building that safety within yourself. So it's validating the feelings. So during the winter months, it's grayer. There's not as much color. And seasonal affective disorder, well, we all have that to some degree, seasonal affective disorder, because it's just affecting us. The sun affects us, nature affects us. So when we're not seeing the sun as much or as much color, our mood tends to be lower, less motivation, more instinct to hibernate. And some of this is good, everything in balance to rest, replenish, rejuvenate, because a lot of our summer months, even some spring and fall months are go, 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 kind of feeling guilty for stopping. But winter almost gives you the permission to stop, as though we need permission. But sometimes in our society in particular, it's do, do, do. And if you're being, it's kind of frowned upon, like you're resting, or you're taking time for yourself, you're taking downtime. It's not valued as much as the being productive. So be wary of that. There's a fine line to burnout and to taking care of yourself. So how do you take care of yourself? I kind of envision it like you're a plant and you're watering yourself. Sometimes we get dry, burnt out, and we're like, oh my gosh, I have nothing left to give. Nothing left to give. That's a big, big sign to start replenishing yourself. And just writing down simple ways like, oh, I took a shower and brushed my teeth today. Huge. Huge. Very much so. My home is a mess, complete mess. My consultation is one Kroger bag at a time. Whatever you can fill in that Kroger bag, do. Half a bag, the whole Kroger bag. But just little bit at a time, trying to be your own best friend, how you would talk to your best friend, how you would talk to a 5-year-old, with that gentleness and kindness, because we beat ourselves up way too much with not good enough, not this enough, comparing to others. Please, when that starts to happen, see a big stop sign in front of you and just go, whoa, 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 kind of like you're a horse. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And there's this big, huge fence. I'm not going over that. See this big stop sign and just regroup. Maybe even cross your hands and put them on your chest and go, okay, now. A little bit of tapping back and forth, a little bit of rocking to kind of quiet the amygdala, quiet that judgment zone, and saying, okay, what can I do? What is realistic for me? What would be nurturing? Do I need water? Do I need some fresh air? Do I need time with my animal, my furry family animal? What do I need? And sometimes you may not know, and that's okay. Just the act of asking is huge, that you care about you, that you're asking, right? What do I need? Like you matter. Yeah, like you matter. So we're going to go into some things also that can help you in the season. And Julie's going to talk about the benefits of, the things that simulate the sun that we plug in. I have a Happy Light. It's the size of an iPad. And you put that beside you to get, simulate the sun to help you with that seasonal affective disorder. And just creating, like I said, simple, doable intentions. Simple, doable intentions. Setting that intention for the day. What is your intention for the day? Is it to have a more peaceful day? Is it to have a more kinder day? Just simple, basic things. And setting boundaries. It's okay to say, I don't feel like doing that today with someone. I'm just not up for it, or I don't feel like it, or maybe another day, maybe another day. Because you've got to look out for yourself. You've heard this before so many times. Take care of yourself first so you have goodies to give others. Because if you're all used up, or are on the people pleaser track, one of the roles maybe you took on as a child that you think it's you, but really it's a role. You might be on the people pleaser track, and that's a track that's destined for burnout. And it's a track too that's based a lot of times in fear. What am I fearing? Why can't I say no, not today? A good friend or family member who loves you would say, okay, I get it. Not today. Sure, we'll do it some other time. Oh, let's see. Let me check my list here. So the winter months do give us an opportunity to slow down. And when we do slow down, sometimes emotions come up that we've been compartmentalizing in our busy summer, spring, fall schedules. And the winter is kind of like, I'm starting to feel things that I haven't wanted to feel. So just recognizing the feelings, and they're just feelings. They're not good or bad. If you're feeling angry or sad or scared, it's just that feeling's just trying to talk to you. Validate it. Like, what are you scared about? Talk to a good friend, talk to someone. Talking it out helps a lot. That's where therapy gained traction many, many years ago. It's hearing yourself talk and being with someone that you trust, and that it's a good dumping ground, and you feel it'll stay there. It'll stay private. It won't go anywhere. There's magic in that. So search out a therapist, maybe do that for a while, and help yourself with those feelings maybe that you've been stuffing because you're afraid to be with them. They feel like they've gotten kind of big. But trust me, once you start talking about them and talking with that feeling yourself, it'll start to slowly reduce in size. Yes. And I'll be sharing a little more as we go on and doing a guided meditation. So now, let me see what time it is. If we have time for us to talk. If you have any questions now at this point, please speak up. We'd love to hear your voice. Because we're going to go into talking about some other supportive things to do too. So if you have any questions, please type in the chat or speak up. If any of these areas have caught your interest and you're like, can you talk about that a little more? Or this happened to me, what would I do? Or what would you suggest? Right, Julie? Right, Heidi?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned the bright light therapy. I've talked about that in the past, but it is useful. There's a real change in the brain for some people with that light deprivation. And there are, lights on the market that, exposure to that can help bring a summertime frame of frame of mind in a very chemical way. Mhm.
Good to hear the science again. Yeah, my Happy Light, like I said, is the size of an iPad, and it sits about, 10, 12 inches. That's what it says in the directions. 10, 12 inches at an angle from me. And it's only like 15 minutes a day it needs to shine on me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then Heidi has experience with aromatherapy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, aromatherapy,
lots
and
behind.
sometimes just simply, I was going to say aromatherapy, some great oils in the wintertime are like some of the real strong ones that like, whew, get us alert, get us like, awake. So your citrus oils, smelling, orange, lemon, lime, grapefruit, eating those things, right? You don't have to have a bottle of oil. Just slice open an orange, smell it for a moment, a little moment of mindful eating. Oh my goodness, like a smell of a great orange and then enjoying it, right? The juiciness of it, the sweetness of it, right? The uplifting qualities of that. Other good smells too this time of year kind of go hand in hand with sometimes we feel a little more congested. So peppermint's really great to smell this time of year. If you like tea tree, lavender, eucalyptus, all of these we also know as natural aromas that help the respiratory system. So, just smelling some peppermints, have some peppermint, eat some peppermint, candy canes if they're still lingering around your house. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Speaking of kind of congestion too, some things that might help in your environment. So what are some things in the space you're in that you're in a lot? If in your office space or the space you're in a lot at home, an air purifier or even a humidifier, right? That you can let it be less dry inside. I know my house this time of year gets so dry because we have the heat on all the time, especially now when it's been so cold. So a humidifier can be great, or an air purifier just to kind of keep, because we're not opening the windows as much, some of the dustiness down. And a cool thing too is, to open your doors, your external doors every day. We have to leave the house, but an intentional, go around and actually open the doors and let the cool air in. And there's a nice one circulation of your air. And sometimes that coolness can, it can wake us up. We might not want to go for a long walk in it, but just open the door, stand near that cold air, or open a window. If you can,
Mhm.
stand near the cold air for a couple breaths and just feel that aliveness. And, that can be really nice when we're feeling kind of the emotional ups and downs of this season, because winter does have a lot of great stuff going on. And then sometimes it's like, oh my goodness, I'm a mom and I have 3 daughters. One's in college, but 2 are, they're home right now and they have been home for a while. It's like all of us in the cabin fever. It's like, moments that you can find throughout your day together, or, your own self-care. Sometimes that's solitude, right? And remember that, like, we don't have to do everything together. As Laura was saying, it's okay to set boundaries and say no. But finding those things, the mindful snacks, that we can do throughout the day to, make it through our day. And that's what it is. It's our mindful steps throughout the day. Just doing the best we can.
Exactly, Heidi.
Yeah.
Exactly. Would you like to start with some yoga and breath work?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to do that. And speaking of, Julie mentioned, that love, the power of love. And we're going to be doing some movement today. And some of the movement, it's like picking what you love to do. I am a certified yoga teacher, registered yoga teacher. Been teaching yoga, oh my goodness, since 2008, but practicing it for almost 3 decades. And I also do a lot of other things. I like to run. I like to do aerobics. I like to ride bikes. So I love to move, basically. And yoga has been a way that I get to move and then also in a mindful way take care of my nervous system, take care of my kind of whole body health through yoga that other modalities also do. But what I also love to do is like mash up. I'll bring yoga and other modalities into a practice intentionally. And we are actually going to do that today. So in the wintertime, I like to do things that it's going to give a little extra boost to my lymphatic system. And our lymphatic system is, closely knit with our immune system. And so it's just giving that intentional, mindful care, that gaze to my immune system, and helping to give it love, kind of shake things up a bit, and feel my body alive and vibrant. So we are actually going to start standing today. And I offer this sequence where you can do it with us live. I know some of you will be watching later. But if you're even watching live right now and you're like, you know what, I'm good, I just kind of want to sit right now. A lot of the things we'll be doing will be practicing a lymphatic flow, which creates some rebounding, some bouncing. You can do that seated, right? So you'll be able to do everything. I'm kind of giving you a sneak peek of some stuff we're doing. You'll be able to do it seated to any degree you want to, or you know what? Just take a seat and watch. And when you want to click play later, go for it. So I have my phone on me just so I can set a timer. This lymphatic flow I like to do in the morning. It incorporates some regular rhythmic movement. I usually put on a song. It's usually like one song or two songs, depending on how long I want to do each exercise. In the morning, music that kind of gets me going in the wintertime when it's still kind of dark outside and cold. This lymphatic flow we're about to do that just kind of gets circulation going and gets my lymphatic system going. After even just 4 minutes, I can go on and be like, coffee time. I'm feeling just a little more vibrant. So I'm going to introduce it to all of you. And some of you might already know this series. It's a very common set series for the lymphatic system. So each little exercise we'll only do for like 15 to 20 seconds. I do 30 seconds every morning, unless I'm feeling I want to do a little bit more, and I'll do like a minute of each. But today, giving you a sample, about 15, 20 seconds. So the first one as you stand is just to bounce. And we're not jumping. Your feet can stay on the ground, but you just kind of lift your heels and just bounce. And if you have a song in your head, you can kind of think of a song. You can kind of look around, look out a window, and just let your body bounce. Our lymphatic system kind of needs our movement, and this rebounding is really great for it. 15 seconds is up. The next move is just to do a little twist with it. So you can, again, leave your feet on the ground, but your heels can go side to side. If you feel like doing more, you can do your arms. And just the sheer fact that you're doing it, right? You're like, oh, this is kind of silly. Brings a smile to your face, right? 15 seconds is up. We're done. Land here into your mountain. This one is called waves. It's like a flowing fold. You'll take your arms up any amount. Soft knees fold forward like a wave. Land into your strong legs. Lift yourself back up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pick it up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, pick it up. Exhale, fold. 15 seconds goes fast. Let's just do one more of those. And exhale, fold. Come back up to your mountain pose. Step your feet just a little bit wider. I like to soften my knees here. And this one is alternating arms. So it's like you're walking. And you're like walking really fast. But you're not going anywhere. You're just letting your arms swing. And letting the body breathe. Letting your arms move any amount, even if you're just doing slower side swipes of your arms. And again, 15 seconds goes pretty fast, but 15 seconds can be a lot. Taking a break, letting your arms rest. And now step your feet wide again. Knees really soft with your arms. Start to crisscross in front. You're just letting swing. If you alternate the other arm on top, that's cool. If you forget, no biggie. Just a couple more times. And then let that rest. You're still in this kind of, get ready stance. Hands are going to be just hovering in front of your heart, your chest. And you start to turn. So you're allowing your elbows to kind of turn side to side. Your rib cage is turning. You could keep your gaze neutral and things turn around that, or you can let your head go with it. Nice. And then back to your neutral. Come back to mountain. Goes pretty fast, huh? But are you feeling it? Are you feeling a little more alive in your body? All right, we have 2 more to go. This one is a march. You're going to pick up your leg, doesn't matter which, and you're going to just tap the outside of the thigh or the knee. And then you march to the other leg and you tap. Just tap it out. You don't have to think about like, am I doing this right? You're just like, moving along, tap, 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 march, march, march. If you're listening to music, getting into the tunes, let the movement do the work. All right, bring it back to your neutral. Last movement, feet comfortably wide. Arms are going to sway about chest height. Here, sway, twist, and rotate. Letting the arms kind of feel heavy. Momentum takes you in. And then come back to your neutral. 8 little exercises for your lymphatic system. Take a moment and pause. And I'm going to show you. We did all of that in under 4 minutes. So just take a moment. Notice how you feel, whether that was weird, but do you notice, is there some aliveness in your body, the circulation? Maybe there's just a slight more warmth or a lot more warmth in your body. How about your heart? Maybe you do feel your heart having just a little bit of a pickup. It's like, I'm alive. Breathing, feeling in this body, embodied awareness. In 4 minutes, that can be enough. Waking things up. You can even do it in less time. Pick one of those things and just bounce around for 30 seconds. All right. From here, now that we've kind of down regulated from the dynamic movement, invite your hands to your hips and start to draw attention a little more to your center. So not just like your core, but like your center line, your plumb line anchored here on this earth. That's right. We're like spinning around on earth, and not to like be too mind blown about it, but that Dave Matthews song, like, am I upside down or right side up, right? I don't know. Gravity's got me. So gravity's got us. We're anchored. Anchor your right foot into the earth and then pick up your left. So I'll be mirroring you. I think I'm mirroring you all. But your left leg is up, right foot is down. And just playing in the balance. And if you want, get that creative curiosity going. Maybe move your leg for the fun of it. Your left leg, move it around. Right leg intentionally has to start working to balance you. It's like you're doing it for the love of it. And whenever we do this type of stuff, we're also strengthening, finding our resilience. And if we fall out, we fall out. And we're going, I'm just playing. Helping my body, strengthening my hips and legs. And then let it go, let it be. It might feel nice to give yourself just a little trot around. And then we'll anchor ourselves into the left foot, left leg. Right? Thank you, gravity, anchoring me here. And now finding that center line, down into the earth. Pick up your right leg. And for a moment, just see what it's like to hold the leg up in space. Stay there the whole time, or start to play. What is it like when you move that right leg a little or a lot around the space you're in? And then how are you finding in your body the ways to maybe stay balanced a little bit more? And laugh at yourself if like, oh my goodness, I caught myself. A little earthquake, but we got it. And then find your way back to center and land back into your mountain. And again, just a little trot around, moving that around, releasing any intentional tension you created through the muscles of stability. And we'll release back to mountain pose, arms by your side. Again, a moment to feel stillness. May I go out in the world and do something, and may I also come back to myself and feel the presence and aliveness. Nothing extra asked of me. And then may I go on and do a few more things. So now we're going to sit into a chair. So if you're not already seated, just take your seat. And here we'll integrate in mindful steps. We have kind of like our hallmark, our like, to the heart sequence of the 6 movements of the spine. This is also great to do anytime, anywhere. If you're feeling tight or tense, 6 movements of the spine really start to wake up the trunk of the body, helping with circulation and freeing up that muscle tension and any residual kind of stress we carry with us. So we'll start with a cat-cow movement that works the forward and backward movement of the spine. So on an exhale, breathe out, slide your hands to your knees, and let your belly draw back a little or a lot to the back of your chair. And now as you inhale, hands come to the top of your legs, roll your shoulders open any amount, and feel some width and space around your chest. And now exhale, round again. Inhale, sit up tall, roll your shoulders open, and feel your heart lift and broaden the chest. And now let it flow. Exhale, we call this cat. Inhale, cow. 3 more. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. 2 more. Follow your breath. Last one. From that last opening up into the inhale, come back to your neutral. And invite again, I'll be mirroring you. Invite your right hand to stay and left arm's going to go up. Lean over to your right. And as you lean to your right, just start to notice any amount through the left side of the body, getting some space, getting curious about the breath and how it feels as it has new space to move into the left side of the ribs. And now bring that back to neutral. Left arm will lower, and then left hand is going to cross and rest onto your right leg. Right hand, bring it out in front of you like you're shaking somebody's hand, and we'll move this to a twist. Turn to your right, and right arm can open any amount. And for a moment, turn your head to look towards the right thumb. Stay in your twist as you turn your head to look over your left shoulder. Repeat that one more time. Turn your head, look over towards your right thumb. And turn your head, look over your left shoulder. Head can turn back to neutral. Unwind from your twist. Both hands can rest to your legs. Take your arms, bring them up high, any amount. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. We'll repeat all of that. So hands start at your legs, leaving the left hand where it is. Sweep up your right and side bend to the left. And we're here for a few breaths. You could lean just a little bit.
Your microphone may have.
Oh, thank you. It's getting stuck up there. There we go. And like here, if you have a microphone, maybe broaden that arm out to the side. Breathing into the right side of the body. Thank you, Julie. And then come up and out of that side bend. Right arm will lower, cross in front of you to your left leg. Left hand reaches out like you're shaking somebody's hand. And now turn your trunk to the left. And left arm can open a little or a lot here. Maybe even let your neck keep turning to look at your left thumb. And now just your head and neck turn to look over your right shoulder. One more time with that, look to your left thumb. And look over your shoulder. Head back to neutral. And then all the way back to neutral. Hands to your legs. Let your hands drop by your side. Notice when you're ready to inhale, move arms with that breath in, reach high. Exhale, hands to the heart. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hands down to the heart. One more, sweeping it up and down to the heart. Pausing here. From the movement, feel your feet, feet to the earth. Whether you're like me and you're barefoot or have socks on or you have shoes on, still having feet to the earth in any way. Connect there. We don't have to push into it. Gravity is already landing, placing our feet to the earth. So thighs can be a little more relaxed. Spine comfortably tall. And now with your hands, just letting them rest either on your thighs, or if you want, you can rest them around your belly, or one at your belly, one at your heart. We'll transition into one breathing practice called the humming bee breath, or it's also called the Brahmari breath, bumblebee breath. And in this breath, it's a sounding exhale. Like its name, humming bee. Each exhale, you'll hum on the exhale as long as you wish to release that breath. And you inhale through the nose. And you exhale, hum. Doesn't matter the pitch, doesn't matter if you're a good singer, you're just using sound vibration as you exhale, lengthening your exhale. There's a lot of great benefits to a longer exhale for our nervous system. You have that down-regulated feeling. There's also a gentle stimulation through humming that can be like that calm, uplifted feeling when we hum a song. Right? So we'll practice. We'll do 8 rounds of breath. First, just notice you're here breathing. If you've already started because you're familiar, keep going. When you feel ready to inhale, inhale smooth, steady through the nose. And exhale, hum. Breath flows in when it's ready. Exhale, hum. Keep it going. Inhale. Eyes could close or stay open slightly. Inhale. Soft face and jaw. Exhale, hum. 4 more. Just go into the flow. We have 1 more, and on this exhale, just really let that sensation even drop into the shoulders. Breath will flow in. And breath flows out without sound. Maybe a sigh out the mouth or out through the nose. Again, breath draws in, that natural response our body knows how to breathe. Allow it to be released through the mouth or the nose. If you have a hand to the belly or chest, both hands can rest to your legs. Breath calibrating back to your natural steady baseline. Feeling your feet. Legs are held. Seat is supported. Spine comfortably tall. Face and jaw relaxed any amount as you soften through the shoulders. Present here. Notice what you notice. This is your practice. This time for you. And in this place of seated mindfulness, we'll transition now to Laurel and Laurel's voice, and she'll guide us through a meditation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Heidi. Let's hold this inward space where we're at that Heidi so graciously guided us to, and hold this with our breath. Allowing, you can close your eyes if that's comfortable, or a fuzzy gaze down. And let's return to the awareness of the breath with an easy in, easy out, without holding or forcing the breath in any way. Riding our breath like the gentle waves of the ocean. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, just being here present now. Maybe noticing the temperature of your next inhalation in your nostrils and your next exhalation in your nostrils. Allowing this awareness to bring you deeper. Maybe sensing, feeling the temperature of your room against your skin, your clothing against your skin. And now in your next exhalation, allowing your jaw and shoulders to drop just a little bit more. Letting go a little bit more with every exhalation into this precious present moment. Now, guiding your awareness down to your feet, grounded to the earth, imagining as best you can you had roots like the tree, any tree. And these roots on the bottom of your soles of your feet guide you deeply, deeply into the earth for strength, stability, groundedness, safety, maybe even a sense of oneness with all. And now taking your time, breathing up these qualities through the sole, through the roots, your roots up to the sole of your left foot, into your left foot, your left ankle, up into your left calf, your left knee, your left thigh, and now your left hip. And now again, as best you can, breathing these qualities up through your roots into the sole of your right foot, your right ankle, your right calf, your right knee, your right thigh, and now into your right hip. And allowing yourself to feel the full weight of your body on what you're sitting. Letting go a little bit more. Now bringing your awareness to your next thought. What is that next thought? Is it a past thought or current thought or future? And just viewing this thought with curiosity, without any judgment of good thought or bad thought. It's just a thought. Hello, thought. Observing it with kindness and compassion. And when you're ready, guiding yourself back with your breath into your body, coming back home again. And guess what? There's probably another thought. They're waiting in line. Thank you, thoughts, for being so patient. Observing that thought again, without judgment, with kindness. Taking your time. And when you're ready, guiding your awareness back to your breath in your body. Beginning anew each time. And this is the practice of going and coming back. Finding yourself lost in a thought, observing gently and kindly, and coming back to your breath in your body. Coming back over and over again. This is the practice. With nothing to achieve, no goal. No, it's just the practice of beginning anew each time. Coming back, beginning anew each time. And when you find yourself lost in an emotion, a feeling, observe that as well with curiosity, kindness, and compassion. Not a bad feeling or a good feeling, it's just a feeling. It wants to be heard. It wants to be validated. It wants you to hear it. So you do. I hear you feeling. Thank you. Where am I feeling that in my body, that feeling? Could be my belly, chest, neck, head, toes. Just acknowledging that feeling. Taking your time. And then gently bringing your awareness back to your breath. Beginning anew each time. Now let's just sit in silence with this practice for just a minute without my voice. Thank you. And gently bringing your awareness back to your room and your feet grounded to the earth. And maybe if you feel comfortable placing your hand on your chest, your heart, and asking and saying thank you to your body. Thank you for all that you do for me, that you try to do, that maybe sometimes part of the body is ill, but doing its best. Doing its best at any given moment. Thank you, body. Thank you, breath. Now slowly opening your eyes if they were closed, and then just noticing how you're feeling, and however you're feeling is okay. If you're feeling peaceful, good. If you're feeling anxious, okay. Whatever the feeling is, please validate it with kindness and compassion. Thank you. Now we're going to move on to Julie with a compassion meditation.
All right. So acknowledging the power of the practices that we just did. And it's going to feel different on different days, but that call to come back into the body, either through movement, breath, or mindfulness, touching in with that feeling of the body again. And from that place of stability, thinking of someone that we care about who might be feeling a bit down. Maybe we know them, maybe we see them in everyday life, or maybe we saw on social media that they're, you know, having health problems or problems with a pet. And we have that person vaguely or vividly in our mind. Imagine wishing them well, wishing them healing, wishing them a return to joy once they have gone through that healing, protection from getting too down, a resiliency, moments of humor, moments of close connection, beauty of nature, a wonderful warm cup of tea or coffee, whatever you think might help that person. Imagine that wish, or you could make it a prayer, is having an effect in your loved one or someone that you know is feeling more at ease. They're going to be all right. And increase that feeling of happiness that you might feel if you really saw them. They're doing better. They got through the rough patch. And touching back in with the body again, feeling that feet in the ground with that rootedness that Laurel alluded to. Deep roots, full weight. Now, tap into that feeling also for oneself. The person, people in your life care about you, and you can care about yourself too. Wishing yourself relief, wishing yourself kind of a walk back from those panic zone periods that we all experience. Feeling safe, rooted, relief, moments of joy in nature, spirituality, if applicable, and love. Extend that feeling towards all of us here. We might need a little loving, a little relief. May we all be well. May we all find resiliency and strength, calm, cozy moments, joyful moments, beauty, and love. And after touching in with the feet once again, reconnecting to that feeling as if radiating in all directions. May all be well. Without thinking of anyone in particular, a sense of shared compassion and love. And finally, very important, rooting back into our body, feeling our feet, feeling our weight on the chair or cushion or bed, shovel in our hands if we're still shoveling, sense of embodiment. And as we come back to each other, we can even try a little of Heidi's lymphatic movements. A little humor, a little joy, right? Shake it off. That's what our creatures do, right? Whenever my dog is stressed out, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, this is totally part of being embodied. So, if anyone has any questions, we're close to the top of the hour, but stay on a couple minutes. And thanks to and everyone out there who is watching this video after, we're thinking of you too.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh, and
Mary's
Done
done
shoveling,
shoveling.
Mary.
we have a closing poll. If you wouldn't mind, if you've got time to complete, it takes just a couple minutes,
Yeah.
letting us know how you're doing. It
Yeah.
really helps us to work with our program. Oh, thank you, Brad. Thank you all for your thank yous. Yes. And may you all be well, please. May you all be well. And Anthony will be sending you links. I'm sure you get them to Heidi's yoga, to Julie and my
Yeah.
meditation during the week. Heidi's yoga's at Health Science Center Mondays and Wednesdays, 5:15.
Yeah.
And Julie's meditation is Monday at what time, Julie?
11:30.
11:30. Yeah, and my meditation's Wednesday at 1:30.
Yeah.
So you can meet with us every week.
Yes. And these are all, these are all open to everyone and free. So great that we have this as a resource for our community. So thank you
Yeah.
for joining us for all of this.
I hope that what we helped you with or shared with you today can help you reset
Yeah.
and more tools in your toolbox
Yes.
or yummy snacks like Heidi says.
Yeah.
But we are here for, a few more minutes if you have any questions.
Yeah, if you have questions, if you ever have like an unusual, like, I don't know is this the right way to do something? Really, we want you to ask us because, sometimes people get into weird territory if, have a misunderstanding or, just sometimes being in our minds can make you feel kind of interesting, like, oh, what's that? Or, I'm not used to being alone with my thoughts and, I have a weird sensation in my body, pain.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Heidi, I like your little pink chair.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a folding chair from the garage, but it was cold because it's a folding chair and it's metal, and so I threw a blanket on there.
Nice.
Oh my
It
God.
looks so fuzzy.
it,
Yeah.
it is. It's one of those real fuzzy blankets.
No, no, please all just try to be kind to yourself. We're going through tough times internally and externally.
Yeah.
So kindness goes a long way.